Okay, it's been a big, and that feels like an understatement, 24 hours when it comes to the Russian-Ukrainian war and Donald Trump's attempts to broker peace. The American president used a press conference at Mar-a-Lago yesterday to completely change tact. In fact, he seemed to decide that now was the right time to publicly throw Zelensky under the bus. Take a look.
A situation where we haven't had elections in Ukraine, where we have martial law, or essentially martial law in Ukraine, where the leader in Ukraine, I mean, I hate to say it, but he's down at 4% approval rating, and where a country has been blown to smithereens. You got most of the cities are laying on their sides. The buildings are collapsed. It looks like a massive demolition site. The whole, I mean, so many of the cities. I mean, they haven't done it in Kiev because I guess they don't want to shoot too many rockets in there. They've done it 20%, but they haven't done it 100%. If they wanted to do it 100%, it would probably happen very quickly. But you have cities that are absolutely decimated. And yeah, I would say that, you know, when they want a seat at the table, you could say the people have to, wouldn't the people of Ukraine have to say, like, you know, it's been a long time since we've had an election. That's not a Russia thing. That's something coming from me and coming from many other countries also. We have, I believe President Zelensky said last week that he doesn't know where half of the money is that we gave him. Well, we gave them, I believe, $350 billion, but let's say it's something less than that, but it's a lot. And we have to equalize with Europe because Europe has given us given a very much smaller percentage than that. I think Europe has given $100 billion, and we've given, let's say, 300 plus. And it's more important for them than it is for us. We have an ocean in between, and they don't. But where is all the money that's been given? Where is it going? And nobody, I've never seen an accounting of it. We give hundreds of billions of dollars. I don't see any accounting. So I want to see peace. Look, you know why I want? Because I don't want all these people killed anymore. Today I heard, oh, well, we weren't invited. Well, you've been there for 3 years. You should have ended it 3 years. You should have never started it. You could have made a deal. I could have made a deal for Ukraine that would have given them almost all of the land, everything, almost all of the land, and no people would have been killed, and no city would have been demolished, and not one dome would have been knocked down. But they chose not to do it that way. And President Biden, in all fairness, he doesn't have a clue. What he was so bad for this. He was so bad, so pathetic, so sad. But with all of that being said, look, it is what it is. When I left, there was no chance that this could have happened. But it happened because we had incompetent leadership at many different levels. You have leadership, and I like him personally. He's fine. But I don't care about personally. I care about getting the job done. But I'm only interested. I want to see if I can save maybe millions of lives. This could even end up in a World War III. I mean, to be honest with you, you've been hearing now Europe is saying, well, I think we're going to go in and we're going to go. All of a sudden, you're going to end up in World War III over something that should have never happened.
The Ukrainian president was visibly upset soon after the comments were made and then was asked about them himself. And he hit back, accusing Trump of living in Russian disinformation space.
Про те, що не варто було це і починати, що ви не знаєте, куди йде американська допомога, і взагалі-то у вас рейтинг 4%, і тому треба проводити терміново вибори. Чи розцінюєте ось все це, що відбулося вчора, ви як зраду України від найбільшого друга України?
Тут багато, дякую вам за запитання, тут багато є думок і розумінь того, що відбувається. Ну, передусім, я, в принципі, ніколи не коментую рейтинги, тому що я вважаю, коментувати рейтинги щодо себе або інших лідерів, напевно, це говорить, що якісь йде політичні змагання, йдуть вибори. У нас такого немає. Передусім, сьогодні вийшла довіра до мене 57% по КМІСу. Я чув 57 плюс відсотків різних соцопитувань. Так що, якщо хтось хоче мене поміняти прямо зараз, то прямо зараз ніяк не вийде. Я би так сказав. Друга історія, раз вже говоримо про 4%, ми бачили цю дезінформацію, ми розуміємо, що вона йде від Росії, ми розуміємо це, і у нас є докази, що ці цифри, вони обговорюються між Америкою і Росією. Ну, тобто, на жаль, президент Трамп, з великою повагою до нього відносимося як до лідера народу, який ми дуже поважаємо, американський народ, який нас постійно підтримує. На жаль, живе в цьому дезінформаційному просторі.
Mr. President, we've heard the idea of security guarantees again and again from the Americans, but they don't want to put troops on the ground. They don't want to put you in part of NATO. How would security guarantees potentially look given those restraints? Can you explain what would work?
What will work? I think NATO will work, really, but
they won't let you in. So.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. The strongest, but when they said, for example, no boots on the ground, you know, but they have ships, but they have air defense. They really have it. American, they have it. They have air defense. Okay, can we have 20 systems of Patriot? It's enough. And even we don't need their team to be at these systems. We have our teams. We will train our teams. And so for us, it's not boots on the ground, but it's real help. It's okay. Can we have licenses, not even missiles, licenses for production of Patriot missiles? I know how we count each day. I'm very sorry when 3, 4, 5 in the morning, when the chief commander is calling me and say, okay, we don't have near this city, I don't want now to say where is it, we don't have missiles for Patriots. It's empty. And we understand that, and what's going on, I'm asking him, and he said that in the sky 8 missiles, and they will come to this city, but we don't have missiles. Is it right? It's not right. I think so. That's, you know, that's things which nervous everybody, just people. That's why when we speak about something big, I said to all this American team, I said to them, what you can really give us, like security guarantees, let's talk about it. You don't want boots on the ground, you don't want NATO, okay. Can we have Patriots, enough Patriots? Can you give? Yes, please, but first we want, and they, and want, and then, and tomorrow, and it's, you know, it's so long discussion, too long, and if really President Trump and count on him, and I said it at the very beginning, when he was during elections, I said to him, I'm talking with you, we are counting on your policy, unblock the package, help us, and just listen what's going on in Ukraine. Just listen different voices. I even didn't say that you have to listen only us. No. But I think some alternative voices can be around. I think this is very, very necessary. That's what about, I spoke, by the way, in Turkey with Erdogan. All of them will ask, of course, what about the United States? Are we ready to give you people, some troops, some help? A lot of decisions depend on it. That's why we are speaking with our strategic partner. If it's something more than just words, strategic partner, I think so. It's have to work. And financing, okay, I began to speak with European leaders, I began to make a decision, and I think that they will be ready about financing of our army. I'm speaking, and just if United States will not finance this army, so is Europe ready? I think yes. To my mind, but it's not, this is their private decision, but we will work on it to have any alternative possibilities. That is one. The second, can we buy weapon from the United States? And I think for me it's something, something strange if we can't buy when, for example, Middle East can. Is it strange or not? I think we are partners, we are in war, and we have to resolve this topic, but there are billions which are, in these deals with Middle East countries and etc. So such questions, and a lot of them, I'm just told you some of them.
Now, former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has entered the fray. Remember, he and Trump have always had a very strong relationship. He and Zelensky too. In fact, the picture on Johnson's X handle is him with Zelensky. Now, he's taken to X, and I think actually another point, he was the first world leader, I think, to visit Zelensky, or one of the first, in Ukraine after the war broke out. So he's been a long-time supporter. Now, he's taken to X to rubbish Trump's claims almost completely, and then weigh into what he says the US president is really doing here. He said, and I quote, "When are we Europeans going to stop being scandalised about Donald Trump and start helping him to end this war? Of course, Ukraine didn't start the war. You might as well say that America attacked Japan at Pearl Harbor. Of course, a country undergoing a violent invasion should not be staging elections. There was no general election in the UK from 1935 to 1945. Of course, Zelensky's ratings are not 4%. They are actually about the same as Trump's. Trump's statements are not intended to be historically accurate, but to shock Europeans into action. In particular, the US can see $300 billion of frozen Russian assets, that's US dollars, mainly in Belgium. That is cash that could and should be used to pay Ukraine and compensate the US for all of its support. Why is Europe preventing the unfreezing of Putin's cash? The US believes Belgium, France and other countries are blocking. It's absurd. We need to get serious and fast." So that's the end of Boris Johnson's post on X. I've spoken to a couple of my contacts within the Ukrainian government, and I can tell you they're not in full-blown panic mode, but they are close. They are hopeful that there is something bigger at play that they are not privy to in terms of getting this done and using whatever methods are required. But as they said to me, direct quote, "It's not looking good."